So it's really curious that the channel began as a Game of Thrones channel and kind of drifted. Well, we are going back to Westeros, but it's going to be a rocky road. But please stay tuned. So let us get right to it. So they've dropped more and more promotional material, and the makers of Knight of the Seven Kingdoms have let out what will probably be the lifespan. Now, I think this is a little ambiguous, but basically, Perry Nemiroff, who worked for the very corporate Collider. Again, I'm not trying to destroy Collider, but that's the orientation. So she gets a lot of scoops. She talks with actual people behind the thing, and the way I understood it is that the plan is to adapt every novella that George has published. Now, this is a little weird because George has said on the record, which apparently the people writing this article didn't even know, that he still wants to do more Dunk and Egg. Said that. Yes, he still needs to finish Winds of Winter, Dream, but he still wants to do Dunk and Egg. Make of that what you will. So probably Dunk and Egg. I don't know whether they just call it Dunk and Egg. Everyone else does. The fans know it. Anyway, so Dunk and Egg will probably be 4 seasons at most because there are 3 published novellas. However, George wants to do another one. So, given his, I don't know. I mean, George is very weird. He can be very productive when he's motivated. So, I've never heard him having any writer's block with Dunk and Egg. Like, he's always like, oh, Danny, oh, Targaryens. He just has a freeze with those people. But, and yes, I mean, to be fair, the Targaryens are kind of in, anyway, I don't want to spoil too much with the books. But, yeah, with the main series, George struggles. But with Dunk and Egg, he's always very happy to talk about it. It's just his thing. And there is a fan base for Dunk and Egg. They're fine. I mean, they're well written. I will try to finish the novellas. I don't know, man. And apparently, the paradigm they're having of 6 episodes will follow in all seasons. So there will be 6 episodes per season. So we will get a maximum, I predict, of 24 episodes. Again, I hate to be brutal. George may die soon. So minimal 3, maximum 4. And there you go. So if you're looking for Dunk and Egg to be a 10 season, probably not. I mean, I understand what we're getting. I understand the whole point of these things is to be basically promote the other projects. I mean, right? I mean, I hate to be brutal, but it does seem like a lot of people at HBO, a lot of people they hire, they call themselves fan of George, and I don't think they are. I think they're just like, hey, we're making money from Games of Thrones. Game Throne, we make monies. We're doing more of the games, Throne games. Come on, you want to make money too? It's like, yes, we do. So more GOT you will have. But it does look promising, at least with fidelity. That's you can appreciate that part. But yeah, like listen, I just was not impressed with what they're releasing so far with promotions. But I have a lot of confidence that this will actually be a good TV show, but will it save Game of Thrones? No. I think Game of Thrones is where it is. It's in a very mixed state. It's very chaotic. It's a very, very mixed bag. It is what it is. But that's the official record so far. They hopefully will have at least 3 seasons of this, which looks promising, but I'm still a little nervous. Now let's jump to Tron, and I don't think it's right to say it's a flop yet, but Tron is off to a very unimpressive below $40 million opening, and allegedly the budget is for about 200 million. You have to understand how Hollywood really works. You never pay that full amount, right? So if they made it for 200 million, really after tax breaks, they spent like 100 million. Even so, roughly speaking, they should probably try to make at least 250 million from this. And if you're off to 30 some million, and if you half the box office every other week. That's what's good. So week number 2, they're going to make what, 15, 17, 18 million? Maybe 20 million maximum? They're looking at the first 2 weeks, 50 million. Yeah, that getting to 200 million is going to be really, really hard. It's going to be really hard. So at least domestically, Tron is fizzling so far. So again, these are estimates. We have to wait a few more days, but so far it will probably get 33.5 million over 3 days. Not great. But globally it did a lot better, 60.5 million. So roughly 94, 95 million, right? But then again, these are estimates. It could make a lot less. It could just make 90 million. So half of 90 is 45. You add together, it's like 135, 140 million. Yeah, it may creep up to maybe 160 million and then bow out, right? So Disney will lose a little bit of money on this, a little bit of money. What do I think of the aesthetics and story? Well, this is not for me. I just don't think it looks that good. I love Tron. I love the original Tron. I grew up with Tron. I worship the Tron. However, I've not really been curious about what they want to do with Tron Legacy or what that other thing or Tron RREs. I'm open. I think the idea of continuing the Tron story is good in principle. However, I don't know, man. I don't know. But these are good ideas in principle. I think Jared is a legit great actor. However, a great actor can be in a lot of projects, and Jared is notorious for just keep showing up in really bad things. Like I don't hate Morbius as much as other people, but I'm not gonna lie to you guys, Morbius was pretty bad for the most part. It's actually not as awful, I think, as people say. They keep making it like it's one of the worst films of all time. I don't think it's up there with Battlefield Earth. It's not like super Scientology propaganda gone mad and being stupid as well. No, it's not there, but it's not much. It's in the range, though. It's in a range. So if you want to put it on your worst movies of all time, by all means, I think that's a little too severe. I just put it as really disappointing, technically bad film, but not super awful bad. And believe me, there are parts of Morbius I hate. There are things I never ever want to see ever again. And I love Morbius. Morbius is a great character. So Jared has just got a lot of bad luck. He just keeps picking losers. But I think compared to Morbius, that looked more visually interesting than what they're doing with Tron. But I mean, I think, okay, I get it. We went from blue to red. It's like, wow, what a bold aesthetic choice. Yeah, so I'm not holding out a lot of hope for Tron. But the idea that Disney has of doing more with Tron, I think, is a good idea. And I would recommend they do a simple thing: do a really small Tron story, right? Do like a Joker, right? Tron is Tron, right? And I think it's legit. We have to update things a little bit. So try to do something with a manageable budget, right? 50, 60, 70 million, maybe 80 million at most. Do a much more intimate story. There's a lot of places you can go, guys. I mean, has a lot of potential as a story, right? So do a more small, intimate story, right? Go that route, build up the audience, and then if you want to do some super Jared is an AI gone crazy story, by all means, you can do that. I mean, a lot of people are really going negative with Star Wars, but Star Wars, I think, does have a good mix, right? We have the Mando. Yes, he's all over the galaxy, whatever, but it's a much more smaller story. And again, it's been shaky recently, but overall, it is a good story. And then you have this super galaxy wide, right, fight the Empire story, right, which we have with Revenge of the Sith or Last Jedi or, right, the OT, Return of the Jedi. The whole universe is at stake. But I think Star Wars has done better keeping it smaller with Andor, Rogue One. Solo I like, but I don't think it's that good. And yeah, the Mando, right? And Tron can be the same thing. Tron can be a bazillion-dollar franchise if that's the way you want to go. But I prefer the original Tron, which to me is also very intimate storytelling. Do it that way. Get it smaller. If you want parts of the universe to be bigger, to sell it and make money, fine, so be it. But start small, right? Go small, because going big, going global so quickly, most of the audience doesn't care. But again, the fans who have seen it and the fan reviews are very positive. So at least the hardcore fans, for that part of the Tron audience, I guess I'm a little bit too much of a purist. They seem to love it. They seem to like, yes, legit, good follow up. But again, a lot of other Tron fans are like, yeah, this is really weak and lame. So there are. So the Tron fan base is divided, but a lot of fans who did love it really love this version. So that's where we are. But apparently, that's where we are with Tron. It's struggling to find an audience. I think there is actually a big audience for Tron, but this version is gonna get its hardcore lovers, but not many other people. And, it's sad. It's sad because Tron deserves better. It really does. But they did a decent effort, I think. I don't think even here Disney's trying to destroy the franchise or destroy the storytelling. But all the reviews tell me this is not also a very impressive story. But apparently the music is great. So Nine Inch Nails is back, baby. And there we are.